Good day, class. Welcome to our modular distance learning in TL10 Quarter 2. We are now in Lesson 3, Preparing Growing Media and Sowing of Seeds. These are the following objectives: components of the growing media, soil sterilization, and sowing seeds. Before we proceed to our lesson, let me present you a picture puzzle. Try to figure out this puzzle visually. Okay, so we come up with this picture. I hope you got it right. So as you can see, class, these pictures illustrate an example of a growing media. We have perlite, sphagnum peat moss, and vermiculite. So what is a growing media? Growing media for vegetable seedlings or field transplants in greenhouses contain a variety of soilless ingredients such as peat moss, vermiculite, perlite, shredded coconut husk or coir dust, and composted materials plus starter nutrients and a wetting agent. Growing media are designed to achieve high porosity and water retention while providing adequate aeration. Different soil mixes are specially formulated for propagation of specific crops or general greenhouse crops. As you can see in the picture, these are some examples of a mixture of a growing media. We have perlite, coco coir, vermiculite, and a sawdust. These are the components of growing media. For loam soil, these are the following mixture: 1 part loam soil, 1 part manure or decomposed manure, and 1 part of decomposed rice hull. For clay soil, it consists of 1 part clay soil, 2 parts compost or manure, and 1 part decomposed rice hull or sieve sand. And for vegetable production, we have 1 part compost, 1 part sieve sand, 1 part garden soil, and 1 part rice hull and sawdust. These soil components are thoroughly mixed together and will be placed in seed boxes, seed trays, or germinating trays, or to the seed beds for the production of vegetable seedlings. As you can see in the picture, this is the example of loam soil and clay soil. Now, let's proceed to the soil sterilization. According to Bautista and Mabeza year 1977, the soil mix should be sterilized before used to kill weed seeds, insects, and numerous soil pathogens. Soil sterilization can be accomplished by using heat or chemicals. To ensure the safety of seedlings from soil-borne diseases, the growing media should be sterilized to protect the seedlings from the attack of damping off, which commonly destroy young seedlings in seed boxes or in seed beds. Based on the Resource Manual on Integrated Production and Pest Management, IPPM, in Vegetables year 2005, there are several ways of sterilizing the soil. Number 1, burning organic materials on the soil. This is a traditional way of soil sterilization where local farmers follow. This is done by burning organic materials above the soil. As you can see in the illustration, this is the practices in burning organic materials. This is a common method of soil sterilization by heating up the soil. The high temperature will cause the death of many microorganisms. Next, number 2, pouring boiling water onto the soil. This method of soil sterilization is commonly done by pouring boiling water, which is 110 degrees Celsius, on the soil to kill whatever pathogens are present in the soil, then allowing the soil to cool prior to use. This is the illustration of number 2 practices, which is pouring boiling water onto the soil. Next, number 3, we have solarization. Solarization as a method of soil sterilization uses the sun to heat the soil. Solarization can control soil-borne diseases, weed seeds, and some nematodes including roof knot nematodes. As you can see in the illustration, this is an example of solarization. To solarize soil, the soil is covered with clear polyethylene or plastic sheets. The best time is during the hot season where there is plenty of sun. Next, number 4, we have biofumigation. Soil-borne pests and pathogens can be suppressed by chemical compounds that are released during decomposition of certain crops. This is called biofumigation. These pictures illustrates the biofumigation practices. Those crops with biofumigation potentials are used as rotation crop, a companion, or a green manure crop. And last, number 5, chemical treatment. Treat the soil with chemicals like formaldehyde, 1 tablespoon per 1 gallon of water. As you can see in the illustration, this is an example of chemical treatment. However, the use of chemicals is not environment friendly because chemicals may kill not only destructive microorganisms but also the beneficial ones and can be hazardous to one's health when inhaled. So those are the 5 practices for soil sterilization. Sowing seeds. INGO year 2005 states that sowing is the most important operation in crop production. The seed must be placed at a required depth in moist soil so as to get the optimum condition for their germination. Seeds must be sown at proper depth and should be properly covered with soil so as to get adequate moisture for its germination. INGO year 2005 further explains that if the intention is to produce seedlings for backyard garden, it is convenient to sow the seeds in seed boxes, plastic cups, fruit juice containers, small polyethylene bags, or germinating trays. Now, let's move on to how to grow seedlings. To grow seedlings requires patience and extra care. Vegetable seeds vary in sizes. Generally speaking, small-sized vegetable seeds are the seeds to be sown because they are delicate ones. Agricultural Venture Series 2011 claims that because some vegetable seeds are so small, the seeds can be easily carried away by water and even insects like ants. Thus, it is advisable to raise seedlings in beds before transplanting them to the field. Now, these are the steps in sowing seeds in seed boxes and seed beds. INGO 2005 enumerated the different steps in sowing of seeds as follows. Number 1, moisten the soil media. This is the illustration of the first step. And then number 2, sow the seeds in rows or broadcast evenly and thinly. Broadcasting is spreading seeds evenly onto the ground and covering the seeds subsequently with thin layer of soil. As you can see in the illustration, this method of sowing is less satisfactory than sowing the seeds in rows, a few centimeters apart unless pricking is to be done. Next, number 3, cover the seeds with thin layer of fine soil sufficient enough to cover the seeds. So this is the illustration of number 3 step. And then number 4, you have to press down firmly the whole surface of the seed box or seed bed with a flat board to ensure a compact surface. And then number 5, water the seed beds or seed boxes using a sprinkler with fine holes or water hose with fine spray. So this is the illustration of number 5 step. And then number 6, protect the seeds sown in seed beds from ants by spraying insecticides which drive away ants. In the case of seed boxes, let the legs of the seed boxes stand in cans filled with water and a little petroleum to prevent the ants from reaching the seed boxes. Next, number 7, seed boxes should be placed under the shade and should be provided with temporary shelter. And last, number 8, regulate watering because too much or too little of it may prevent germination. So we should apply watering in moderation. Points to ponder. Growing media are used by the horticulture industry as well as consumers to support the development of plants. The growing medium ensures that the plant can healthily grow. Having the right growing media mix is as important for an optimal plant growth as water and fertilizers. Plant species differ considerably in their need for water and nutrients, and therefore need different kinds of growing media to provide the best growing conditions. Okay, now, I want you to do this learning task. Write your answer on a one whole sheet of paper. For letter A, give the practices in soil sterilization. And for letter B, give the mixing components of the following. Number 1, for clay soil. Number 2, for vegetable production. And number 3, for loam soil. For your engagement activity, try to apply all the steps in sowing of seeds. Prepare a seed tray with 20 holes. Use a tomato seeds as an example. You have to follow these rubrics in sowing of seeds. The criteria are: number 1, follow steps correctly. It is equivalent to 45%. Number 2, you have to practice the safety measures, which is equivalent to 25%. And you have to use the right materials, which is equivalent to 30%. So that is a total of 100%. Write at least 2 to 3 sentences as a reflection in your notebook after taking this lesson. I learned that blank, and I realized that blank. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson 3. Compile your answer sheets in your portfolio and be ready on the date of submission. Again, I am your Ma'am Heidi. Thank you and good luck.